What if your entire engineering team lived inside a single folder on your machine? That's not a hypothetical anymore. Claude Code's multi-agent architecture lets solo developers spin up 30 or more specialized agents, each one handling a distinct domain like legal, marketing, product, or back-end engineering. This isn't autocomplete. This is something fundamentally new in how software gets built. Every team suffers from context loss. Decisions made in a Slack thread 6 months ago that nobody remembers when refactoring begins. The Claude.md file solves this for AI-assisted development by acting as a persistent shared brain. Every agent reads it before acting. Your coding conventions, architectural guardrails, and team rules live there permanently. It's the difference between briefing a contractor every morning and having a colleague who actually remembers everything. The biggest fear with LLMs in production code is unpredictability. You can't trust a probabilistic system to consistently remember to run your linter or flag a security vulnerability. The hooks layer changes that equation entirely. You're not asking the model to remember your rules, you're enforcing them mechanically, the same way a CI pipeline enforces tests. Security checks, formatters, automation triggers, these fire deterministically regardless of what the model wants to do. That's what separates a toy from a production system. The traditional constraint on solo development has always been serialization. You can only focus on one thing at a time, which means complex features take weeks instead of days. Parallel subagents fundamentally break that constraint. Decompose a feature into 5 independent work streams, assign each to a specialized agent, and let them run simultaneously. By the time you've finished your coffee, you're reviewing merged output rather than still writing boilerplate. The bottleneck shifts from execution speed to the quality of your decomposition thinking. There's a recurring complaint online that AI coding tools produce messy, inconsistent, or outright broken code. In the majority of cases, the real culprit isn't the model, it's the complete absence of scaffolding around it. Running a powerful LLM without persistent context, without constraints, and without memory is like hiring a brilliant engineer and refusing to give them access to your code base, your docs, or your team norms. The gap between a mediocre AI-assisted project and a genuinely solid one is almost entirely about what surrounds the model, not the model itself. There's a real upfront cost to building a properly wired Claude Code environment. Designing your agent hierarchy, writing your Claude.md, configuring your hooks, establishing your memory architecture. Most people skip this entirely and then wonder why results are inconsistent. But the math is straightforward. Spend 3 days building the infrastructure once, and every subsequent project inherits that leverage. This is the same reason senior engineers invest in tooling rather than just grinding through tasks manually. The compounding effect is enormous. As multi-agent systems grow more capable, it's worth asking honestly where the engineer's irreplaceable contribution actually lives. The answer points consistently toward judgment, the ability to sense when an architecture decision will create problems 3 years from now, to weigh trade-offs that aren't fully legible in a requirements doc, to know when to break your own rules. No agent configuration, however sophisticated, fully replicates accumulated engineering intuition. Agents amplify execution capacity, but the strategic and ethical judgment layer remains distinctly human, at least for now. The competitive landscape for software development is shifting faster than most organizations realize. A solo developer with a properly configured multi-agent Claude Code environment can now match or exceed the output velocity of small unconfigured teams. This isn't about replacing engineers. It's about the dramatic divergence in capability between those who invest in AI infrastructure and those who treat these tools as fancy autocomplete. The developers who understand this and act on it in 2026 are building compounding advantages that will be very hard to close later.